Same guys were sitting in the car,
What
waiting
the?
there. We ran through the alleyways and
If
backyards.
yo, what's goody with the YouTube gang? We are back. Sorry it took me a while to get this video out. A lot of stuff has been happening, you know. I've been focused on the grind, you know, working out lately, doing all that, hitting the gym and shit. But other than that, I'm ready to get back on my real YouTube grinding stuff. We're finna get back to all the gameplays and all that, all the games I gotta finish and all that. Anyway, we are back and I want to try something new, you know, for the viewers. So we're gonna be reacting to Llama Arts. This is called True Gas Station Horror Story. I watched a lot of Llama Arts shit. They shit be spooky as hell, bro. Especially the one that's true. That's based on a true story. I don't know why I can't get that out. Why am I stuttering? Why am I talking so fast right now? Anyways, we no further than ado, we should get into this game. Like and subscribe to it, by the way. Just to
One night last summer, two of my friends, Sam and Jake, convinced me to sneak out with them and drink. We were all bored, just looking for something to do. We decided to go for a walk to a local gas station that was open 24 hours a day.
Okay.
The walk there was pretty uneventful. We talked about random topics.
Wait, hold on. You mean to tell me you and... Wait, hold up real quick. Oh, yep. Look at their skin tone color. All white. Of course they would walk in pitch black at night like that with no weapon. You know little Timmy over there don't even got no gun on him. They ain't got no strap. What they finna do? Pull out a water gun? I'm joking to all my white viewers out there too.
And drank a couple of beers. Once we got to the gas station, Jake had to use the bathroom. When he was in the bathroom, there was a dirty, sketchy guy in there. Jake struck up a conversation with this guy. It was pretty normal, except when the guy asked why he was out so late, and if he was by himself. Jake brushed it off as the guy was just...
Hold on, if someone like that asks me why I'm out so late and by myself, you already know what's going down. I may look young, but I'm not that young.
Safe. We bought some snacks and we noticed the guy following us around while he was talking to someone on his phone.
Look what this guy
We left soon after, and on the way back, we sat on the side of the road and talked for a while as we drank some more. It was pitch black by now because there are no street lights in the area. We saw a car coming down the road, which was no big deal. We sneak out pretty often, and we've never had any real problems. Cars usually just drive by. This time was different. The car spun around in the road and pulled up right next to us on the street, and two guys got out. We ditched the beers, got up, and sprinted down the street. Jake and I hid behind an RV, while Sam hopped a fence. The two men looked dirty, like they hadn't showered in days. We watched the two guys for a little while, which is when we noticed that one of them had a gun in his hand. They looked in our direction for a few minutes before they got back into their car and drove off.
First thing we doing right then and there, I'm not gonna lie, I honestly don't even fucking know what to do. God damn.
Jake and I looked for Sam, but we couldn't find him, so we decided to head back home. We thought we had lost them, but on the way back we turned a corner, and those same guys were sitting in the car, waiting there. We ran through the alleyways and backyards until we lost them. Every few minutes, we saw the car driving slowly down a street or alleyway in the distance, and we would hide. Eventually, we made it back, and Sam messaged to tell us that he got followed by a different car, but he made it home safe. It's been almost a year since that night. We're always more cautious when we go out, and Sam still has nightmares about being abducted. I don't know for sure if the guy from the bathroom had anything to do with it, but we believe that he's somehow connected to it.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, I know it's based on a true story, so you already know.
So this story takes place when I was about 16 years old. At my school, I played for the volleyball team, and every year we would go to a camp and do volunteer work for this guy. The camp was in the middle of nowhere.
That's all you have to
When
say.
we got to the camp, we immediately started to work until 8 p.m. This
Damn.
was around October, so it was already dark at 8.
She was stressed.
My two friends and I were sitting around the fire, trying to figure out something we could do so we weren't so bored. We heard that there was a small river down the hill from the camp, and we thought we could check it out. The problem was that it was some guy's property, and the owner of the camp told us to not disturb him since the guy was a little strange. We weren't really supposed to leave the camp, but being 16 years old, we loved breaking the rules. We walked about 10 minutes from the camp and finally reached the river. It was bigger than we expected, and there was a large wooden bridge that crossed it. The bridge was about 20 feet long and was big enough to let a truck go over it. My two friends and I decided to go under the bridge and check it out. As we were walking by the shoreline, we saw two headlights off in the distance moving towards the bridge, so we bolted underneath them and hid. We then heard the truck roll over our heads and to the other side. My friends and I chilled there for a while, just talking and throwing rocks in the water. It was about 8:30 at this time. Now it was pretty much pitch black. That's when we started to hear a slow rumble in the distance. The same truck had come back, and this time it was moving much slower. We stayed put under the bridge, stifling our laughter. Eventually, the truck moved over the bridge, but rather than going over to the other side, the truck stopped right on top of us. The only thing you could hear was the rushing water and the hum of the engine. Then, the door of the truck swung open, and out came a loud thump on top of the bridge. Then we heard a loud scream saying, "I know you're out there! I'm gonna find you!" I looked at my friends and they were both shaking in fear. This must have been the crazy property owner, and he seemed pissed that we were on his land. He started screaming and saying he was gonna hurt us if he finds us. We could see that he had a flashlight and he was swinging it around looking for us. We heard loud thumps as he walked around a little bit, calling out for us, and thank God he never went under the bridge. Eventually, it went silent, and it sounded as if he went back into his truck. I was too terrified to move. We sat there for about 10 minutes, and then my one friend, who we'll call Trevor, whispered in my ear, saying that we have to go. I gave him a quick nod, and in slow motion, we moved out from under the bridge. We started to army crawl on the shoreline of the river, and I remember looking behind me to see the top of the bridge.
Of course they're gonna go.
I saw a white Ford F-150. In the driver's seat was the man, staring right at me with a sinister smile, and he even gave me a little wave. At that moment, I screamed and ran. My friends saw me run and took off after me. I could hear screaming from behind us. I took a quick glance behind me and saw that he was chasing after us, and I couldn't quite make out the object in his hand, but it seemed to be a weapon of some sort. We ran into the forest and ducked behind a bush. It was pitch black in the forest, and we couldn't hear a thing. We sat there for a while, just shaking. The man never walked by us, and we never heard him. After we gathered our courage, we got up and walked back to camp, got into our tents, and tried to fall asleep. The next morning, we talked to the camp owner about the man that owned the property of the river. The camp owner said that he didn't know much about the man, but he knows that he has some mental problems and he'd been accused of assault. I am so happy that we were able to escape from underneath the bridge. I can't imagine what would have happened if he caught us.
Well, he would have just killed him, right? Whoa, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure you go subscribe to Llamas subscribe to me too, by the way. Before you leave, that's all you need to do. It's just simple. YouTube removed the dislike button. Hella saw. Anyway, I'm out. Peace.